Today's spooky spot, we're having a look at the Sota Toys Now Playing Presents Series 3 Dog Soldiers Werewolf. In some regards, this is technically a throwback because I've actually already reviewed the Dog Soldiers Werewolf. However, if you watch the first review that I did the review of the gray version. Now, my intention has always been to open up the brown version of the werewolf. It just so has worked itself out that I now get a chance to open it and review it for the spooky spots this year. So again, consider it a bit of a throwback. It is essentially the same figure, but in this case we're going to be looking at the brown version. It looks like there's several different things that come with the werewolf. We'll get a better look obviously when we get the package open up. On the back of the package, other figures that made up this Series 3 of Now Playing Presents. There was the Dune character, Dog Soldiers Legend Thing box set, and a mega scale pumpkin head. There was also a Tower Records exclusive gray and bloody werewolf up at the top there as well. You can also go to www.sotatoys.com. Down below, sadly, another reminder that Series 4 was never released. Series 4 included Leprechaun, Reanimator, Jeepers Creepers 2, and Tremors box set, which would have been all great figures that I would have picked up immediately. Maybe one day, maybe if they... I assume they must have the molds. It's just a matter of if and when they decide to release them. If they do, definitely count me in. But as packaging aside, I'm going to take myself a terrifying break. Going to get the werewolf unleashed. And when we come back, we're going to get a better look at the figure. Don't go anywhere. Stay tuned. I can tell you one big problem I have with this figure was the same problem that I had with the other werewolf. It's one of the only few figures that's already pegged into its display base when it's in package. If you watched the last review that I did of the gray version of the werewolf, what had happened was when I took it out of the package, this whole piece fell out and it fell on the floor, and the pegs, the two pegs here, actually broke off into the feet of the werewolf. I had the hardest time when I got this out of package to actually even try to remove the werewolf from this base. Even if they had kept the werewolf off the pegs, it would have made for a much simpler way to remove the werewolf as a whole, and I would have not had the problem that I had with the last time getting it out of package, where these pegs would have broke. Having said that, though, it's a really nice display base. Some really nice detail work there. You can see some organs and bullet casings all over the hardwood floor there. Some tattered and decayed wood back paneling here with some, I guess, drywall, some bullet holes going on there, some cracks, all of which look really, really nice. I have to really commend Sota, actually, for the blood on the floor. It's really nicely detailed, and it has a certain gelatinous look to it, almost as if it is real blood. That is some fine, fine work. Here's the back of the display board, nothing really going on with it, but from the front, it looks like a really nice display piece for this guy right here. Now, unfortunately, I don't even know for the life of me where I put the gray version that I could have done the comparison between the two. But I can say this, though. This is one of my favorite werewolf figures. The sculpt on him is phenomenal. It's almost somewhat ironic, the fact that a figure based on the movie, we almost seem to get more of the werewolf here than we do in the actual movie. If you haven't had a chance to watch Dog Soldiers, by the way, do watch it. It's, in my opinion, one of the better horror movies featuring werewolves out there. I would almost say, my cat agrees, I would almost say it's better than like American Werewolf in London. Certainly American Werewolf in Paris is just an abomination, but I really love the sculpt on this werewolf. You see, he's got the mouth open, teeth extended out, teeth are ready to chomp into something. Perhaps this arm that comes with the werewolf, perhaps. Some nice sculpt work on there as well. Now you can, if you want, you can remove this head, which hopefully will not give me any problems. remove the head. Bear with me here. Almost got it. Almost got it. Almost got it. Oh, there we go. You can take the head off, and you can... I see, here's my problem with... Another problem with this figure, I'm afraid, is the fact that he has a double ball joint. His secondary ball joint is actually part of his head. The hardest part then is trying to switch out the head. Trying to switch out the head without taking both ball joints out. See, an easier said than done kind of task. No, what I'll just do, oh, and also here's the part of the mane that you can remove too. You can have it without the mane and just have the extra head on if you wanted to. But obviously there are going to be aspects of it missing that I would say you want to include that. But there would be the other head. You'll just have to take Spot's word for it right now. There's the other head of the dog soldier. And I almost like this one more. You know, if you have both, or if you have two of the same, you could have one with the mouth open, looking very ferocious, and then you can have one closed. And again, I almost like it closed. But you definitely, with a sculpt like this, you definitely can't go wrong either way. I'm just going to take that off. I'm going to put this other one back on. There we go. Aside from a really fantastic sculpt on the head, we got some nice detail work on the body. I love the fact that there's a nice slender body. You can see some abs, a rib cage going on there as well. Conveniently grown fur down there as well. No tail or anything like that. But these really, really large furry feet. He's a much lankier werewolf than some other werewolves we've gotten in the past. I've noticed as well, like the underworld werewolf lichens almost are a same sort of build. An ongoing trend that I think works much better in the scope of a werewolf than a much stumpier, stockier looking werewolf. I prefer this look a little bit more. I also like the fact that we got more of a skin body and then just aspects of fur here and there. I don't like a full fur body. It so easily looks corny, especially when you see someone wearing the costume. I like this setup more. I also really like the airbrush of paint that they've put on the werewolf here. You can see like different shades around the muscle areas here. You can also, I don't know if you can see it, let's zoom into that, but you can also see that there's some scaling effect done on the skin itself, almost that of like an elephant kind of skin or rhino skin kind of thing. And let's not, of course, forget the claws. Really nice detail. I love the shine that they've used a gloss black on the nails. Really nicely done. Of all the figures, I would almost say that Sota has done. I know there's a couple of favorites of mine, like the Creeper from Jeepers Creepers, the Killer Clown from Outer Space they've done as well. But I almost think that the werewolf is my favorite of the lot. I think this has really shown their skills as a toy company. I do love it. If only one gripe could be made is the pegs. I don't like the fact that the pegs were already pegged into the feet. If you weren't careful, if you haven't opened your figure up yet and you plan on opening it, do open it with caution. Now in the way of his articulation, he has a ball joint, which you can move the head up, down, slightly, left and right. It almost doesn't explain why he's got a double ball joint, because you really can't do a lot with it aside from what you would with a standard ball joint. Certainly having it as a singular ball joint would have made swapping out the heads a lot easier. Now he does also have a pin and socket shoulder. The arms go out, rotate all the way around. He also does have a rotation in the wrist, rotation in the waist, nothing in the legs, and then a rotation in the lower calf or ankle, if you want to count it that way. But there you have it. It's entirely up to you which color of werewolf you prefer. I love the gray, but I really dig the brown. And I'm happy that I was able to open both of these and do a review. Kind of, again, a real throwback in some sense, because I got to review the same figure for you guys twice. Pleased as punch that I was able to open this one up. This is definitely a werewolf figure that if you want to get a werewolf figure, you're not really quite sure which way to go, don't overlook this guy. Sota Toys Now Playing presents. They're fairly inexpensive. You could probably find it on eBay for anywhere from $10 to $15. You shouldn't spend too much for him. But what you end up getting is a really nice looking werewolf. Sota Toys, the Dog Soldiers Werewolf. I'm going to give him a very terrifying 9.5 right there. If you find him, definitely worth picking up. Today's spooky spot, we're having a look at the Now Playing Presents Series 3 Dog Soldiers Werewolf. A fantastic figure worth picking up. Thanks for watching, guys. Certainly stick around. There are more spooky spots heading your way this month of October. And I'll see you guys next time. Woo!